Hey horror fans, welcome back to Room 237, and before I get to the review, I just want to put my plugs in. Go to my recent video, thank you to 500 subs, that's the latest Q&A video. Go ahead and leave your questions in the comments on that, I'll answer them next weekend. Go like and join the Room 237 Reviews Facebook group, and go check out the Room 237's Patreon. Check out the tiers, see if you'd like to be a patron. If so, that'd be greatly appreciated. If not, thank you all the same. But with that, let's get to the review. And I'm actually continuing these older movie reviews from the 30s and 40s. But this is not a Bela Lugosi review. This is in fact a Karloff review. I thought I had reviewed all of my Karloff films, but turns out I was wrong. And this is a 1946 film, Bedlam, which was produced by one of the most famous horror producers. He may not be as big a name as, say, trying to stick with producers, but back in the 40s, he was he had a string of very popular horror films that he produced through RKO Productions. And I actually forgot I had this box set of his 9 films, which can actually take this part off because it comes with a new documentary produced by Martin Scorsese. This is the actual box set. Each one is a double feature. I found this very cheap some time ago, and for some reason, I never got around to watching them. And then today I realized, oh wait, I still have all these older films to check out. I was like, oh fuck, Karloff films, great. Karloff is my favorite horror icon. Might even be my favorite actor. I mean, I said Robert De Niro for years, but in the past, year or so, I've really been getting into a lot of Karloff. This also comes with another Karloff film, Isle of the Dead, which I'll check out next. Which is from 1945, the same year as The Body Snatcher. Now this film, this was actually, I believe, the last of the string of films. Yeah, it was the last in a series of horror B films by Val Lewton. And the thing about the Val Lewton films is they were known to be more stylish and atmospheric than other horror films at the time, which monster films were still kind of going. World War II had just ended. Monster movies were almost dead. And they were getting more into like the Abbott Costello comedy films. And we were approaching the 50s when sci-fi horror was going to take over. Which probably the biggest one of this set, it could either be this, The Body Snatcher, or The Cat People, which I'm really excited to check out The Cat People. I'll definitely be checking that out soon, very shortly. So, the story of Bedlam is, it was inspired by William Hogarth's A Rake's Progress, which he was given a writing credit, but it was also written by Val Lewton and director Mark Robson. It was made on a budget of $350,000, which I don't know what that translates to today. I imagine it was cheap even back then. Was put out through RKO, and it's only 79 minutes, which I think from what I'm finding, a lot of these older films are forgivably short. And I wasn't expecting this. I see how it gets it, but I mean, this has an 89 on Rotten Tomatoes, 6 point something on IMDb. This is a very well received film, and I'm not sure how historically accurate. Well, I don't want to say historically accurate because I'm not even sure if it's based on a true story. But these characters play fictionalized versions of real people because it focuses on in 1761 London at the St. Mary's of Bethlehem Asylum, which is sort of like a fictionalized version of the Bethlehem Royal Hospital, which was nicknamed Bedlam. And about the the overseer, the apothecary general, Master Sims, played by Karloff, which this is definitely another one of his big villainous roles. He's a very sinister, aristocratic person who runs this hospital. It is a mental asylum, and it's known for its discomfort and mistreatment of its patients. And this other character, Nell Bowen, played by Anna Lee, she's this woman who really she wants the mistreatment to stop. She wants the patients to get the actual treatment they deserve and to be comfortable. Like, one of the first things we see is Karloff gets a couple of his loonies to put on a show for Lord Mortimer. Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah. Well, it opens up with someone trying to escape the asylum, and they're like crawling like this on a ledge. Someone steps on their hands, they fall to their death. And after some talks about Bedlam, Karloff gets a couple of his loonies to put on a show for Lord Mortimer. And it has a guy painted in gold doing some recitation, but he's not covered in body paint. He's covered in paint, which, for those that don't know, that covers your pores, your skin can't breathe, and you suffocate, which is what's happening. He's struggling to breathe and get through his recitations, and Karloff just keeps kind of egging him on to finish it. They all kind of laugh. This other woman goes up to sing a song, and they all laugh at her. So this is when Nell Bowen, who is the protege of Lord Mortimer, played by Anna Lee, tries to persuade Mortimer to get to, I guess, put up more money towards the hospital for better treatment, better comfort. And also seeks the help of this guy, John Wilkes, who is a politician. And she pretty much wants the whole asylum to go under a reform. And she's willing to, go public with Karloff's corrupt mistreatment. So him and the Lord have her committed. And it is there where she shows a number of the patients' love and compassion and understanding, much to Karloff's displeasure. and he even locks her in this one cage with this one very violent patient. And she goes along with it because she's committed to showing her compassion and her mission to go under reform. And it all leads up to basically the inmates able, well, I don't really want to spoil it, but um, if you think you're going to get like a Karloff sort of monster film or like a really gothic-y atmospheric film, like say The Body Snatcher, or like one of his other Columbia films where he played a mad scientist, not so much. This one is more atmospheric and more, I guess, what the psychological thriller or horror film would have been at that time. It is slower paced, even for a 79-minute movie. But Karloff gives a great performance. He's very sinister. He's great in everything he does. I mean, I don't think I think the only film of his I've ranted on was Curse of the Crimson Altar. And even in that, which was one of his last films, he still gave it his all. And he is a sinister bastard in this film. So it is slower paced. It is more about a mental hospital and stuff like that. Does it feel like a traditional horror film? The atmosphere is, I guess the fear of being put in this asylum with all these people when you're not crazy. But before I get into spoilers, I can recommend this. If you're a Karloff fan or a fan of the 30s and 40s, classic Hollywood, classic horror, definitely check it out. This is one that somehow went under my radar for quite a while. And I'm actually very glad I picked this up when I did. I don't remember how cheap this was when I found it. It was less than $20 for all 9 Val Lewton RKO films. But yeah, completely forgot about Bedlam. But getting into spoilers. There is sort of a revolt. All the patients get a hold of Karloff. They allow her to escape. They put him on trial. And what ends up happening is he during the trial, I think he was knocked out, or they think they killed him. So they decide to hide him, and they take him to this place in the wall. They stand him up, and they, seal it shut. Concrete blocks and cement. And just as the last block is being placed in, he wakes up. So he's sealed within the wall. It's believed he ran off because his exploits became known. And then we end with a caption saying that a reform went through, and since then, mental hospitals have been known for giving the best treatment and comfort possible. Karloff definitely gives a great villainous performance. It is a different kind of horror film because you don't really see a lot of the psychological thriller, psychological horror films at that time. But this is definitely a good one. It is very interesting. I like the odds of this, just sadistic asylum general and this essentially an activist going at odds, and then him just being able to really have his way with her, like conspire to get her on the inside and just really try to keep her out of the way, and then she overthrows him. yeah, somehow, I don't know how this got past me, but I really did enjoy Bedlam, and I do recommend it. And the most exciting thing now is I have yet another Karloff film to get to. So that's also awesome. Isle of the Dead will be next. So thank you for watching.